This one, another example of just some incredible colors. This being the illustration era, the pictures, of course, any sort of photographs at the time, the early 1950s, were black and white. And even then, there weren't, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't as many pictures, pictures everywhere now. So a lot of things were illustrated, and they always took advantage of the colors because it was a black and white world. And this exemplifies that. Ben Light's Rhythm Rendezvous, with Ben Light at the piano. Obviously, the Rhythm Rendezvous, the name of the place on the cover, all the couples milling about, the cars. Just look at the color. And the sunset in the sky, the green trees, lush and beautiful. Just an incredible work of art. And the image on the front cover, carrying over to the back as well, just a black and white picture of the one portion with the car driving up. These records, this one anyway, was released on 78 RPM in 1950 as well as 33 RPM 10-inch. Voice of the Ixtabay by Ima Sumac. Now this one again, this was their first record, came out in the frame cover initially in 1950, and then a couple of years later, this is the evolution. This is how they took advantage of the full canvas and realized, hey, we don't need the frame borders. Let's just put the whole picture out there. The same back cover, they just sort of adjusted things for a bigger frame. Then this is another record from, I believe, 1953, Inkataki from Ima Sumac and Moises Ivanko. This one is actually not a Capitol Records release, but you wouldn't know it if you just quickly looked at it. It looks pretty similar, doesn't it? But it is, of course, a frame cover. This is a Mexican release. Roberto Ingles y su orquestra, Ritmos Tropicales. You have the two maracas with the pictures inside of them, Ritmos Tropicales, and then the bongo drum player there with some crazy pants. Then the back cover, the musical notes, are also the musicians. Why not? This is a literal frame cover. Check out the frame. Erna Sack Encores. Quite the amazing picture of the couple up in the box at the opera. The singer taking her bow, everybody applauding. Just the detail on the curtains. The piano way down there on the stage. A pioneer and inventor of the electric guitar, Les Paul and Mary Ford, the hit makers. Les and Mary there with one of his guitars. The back cover with the jukebox, the guitars, all the musical notes and the stars. Here's a fantastic cover, background music. Music blended to mix graciously with social gatherings. Big party going on in the big city, it looks like. Everybody chatting, holding drinks. If you notice, the lady with the cigarette apparently has eyes on the gentleman with the tie over on the side. He as well staring back at her. And then, to clarify that, the picture on the back cover. It's the couple with the guy still kind of chatting in between them, the music going on in the background with the music notes. This was part of a whole background music series released by Capitol Records. Light and lively songs we remember, bright and bouncy show tunes. This one is interesting. Paul Weston and his orchestra. Pretty simple cover. Music for memories. You have the musical notes there. The music bar is fading off. The star leading the way for the musical bars, and then the orchestra. This is something we've touched on previously on the art of the album cover. British pressing, European pressing records were made with a thinner material. This is, see, example of that right there. It's a shinier, thin material. The flap comes over that way. The construction is different. Not sure why, possibly costs. Budget always comes into play when you're talking about album cover art. Here we have a fantastic painting of just, a snapshot in time. The voices of Walter Schumann, Serenade. There you have the fellas along with a couple of ladies serenading the girls on the patio. Ah, those were the days, huh? Some great colors, just some great art. All the other couples lounging around, watching the performance. Then the back cover, a continuation. Some more lads standing under a tree, singing a song. There's the WS again, the Walter Schumann logo. A little smaller than the previous cover we showed you. This is Naughty Marietta. Gordon McRae and Marguerite Piazza. In this one you can tell where the setting is. It's definitely in the Netherlands. Gordon McRae, The Red Mill with Lucille Norman. And then I have a series of covers from a genre that just really isn't around much anymore. The piano, sort of ragtime, old saloon, western style music. You just don't hear that much very often. And these covers, some of them are pretty cool. Now first, these are not Capitol Records covers, but they're all the same genre and the same genre as far as album art goes. You have Mr. Piano Man by Eddie Piano Miller. Pretty simple right there. The man at the piano with the beer and the smoke. The doors of the saloon right there. This one an RCA Victor record, same scenario, the guy at the piano with the drink, the smoke, and this time instead of the doors, he's got the legs of a girl in the foreground. Frankie Carl plays honky-tonk piano. Then this one on Royale Records, another illustration, this one even more basic, just the guy on the piano with the smoke hanging from his mouth. This poor fella doesn't even have a beer. This is an example of a budget record label, very cheaply produced record covers. You have the flap cover, you got the picture on the front, and then on the back, it's actually sideways. Turn it this way, and you get the catalog for Royale Records. Something that was common at the time. Record companies would also advertise their other releases on a release you purchased. So then back to Capitol Records. This, the same genre of album cover art, Sharky's Southern Comfort. Honky-tonk music with a honky-tonk cover. The girl, the legs, the cigarette, and then the saloon doors. So from what I've discovered, the king of the honky-tonk, rough house, barrel house piano album covers is Joe Fingers Carr. Ragtime honky-tonk barrel house piano by Joe Fingers Carr. Now that's a cover with some action. The piano player's got the cigarette in mouth, he's just giving her. You got the lady who's looking a little tired, she's got a beer and a smoke in the ashtray, and then the fellas in the back having a good old fight. Yeah, nothing like a good old time, little fisticuffs. The one guy's got the bottle in his hand, looks like he sort of has the upper hand in the fight. Not sure how this one's gonna end up, but I'll tell you, sure looks like a good time. Then on the back cover, it explains it all. Out of the night rolls the lusty, vibrant sound of rough house piano. This one continues the theme, another Joe Fingers Carr release, Ragtime Band. You've got the full band in full color in front and Joe with the big cigar. And all of them seem to be paying attention to, well, the leg on the left side of the cover. No pictures on the back. And then here, my final Capitol Records cover to show you possibly the best. Another in the Joe Fingers Carr Party Series. This is Joe Fingers Carr and his ragtime band, Fireman's Ball. This one, Joe and the band are in the back, and in front of him, ooh, that's a party. People just giving her, you got somebody spraying, I don't know what that is, on another guy, well, no big deal. The bartender with the tray of beer is spilling one on some fireman's head. Everybody's having a good time. Look at number 9 in the front here with his lady. Oh, those white teeth again. The party continues in the background. That's what it's all about, the Fireman's Ball. And the back cover, there's everybody loading up onto the fire truck. Yes, indeed. Get out your Saturday night duds. Put on that Saturday night feeling. It's time for the Fireman's Ball, and the only conflagration in town tonight will be around Joe Fingers Carr's piano. So the record covers I've shown you all are from the pre-1954 era, which was the heyday, let's say from 1952 maybe, 1951 to 1954-ish, was the heyday of the 10-inch 33 RPM album. But by 1954, people realized you could get, a little more bang for your buck if everything was on a 12-inch record. This one is a perfect example of that. The Jackie Gleason series. Jackie Gleason, the actor from The Honeymooners, he produced music. He didn't play music, he didn't write music, he didn't conduct music. He just put his name on a bunch of albums that he picked the music for and sold a lot of records. Now initially these albums were released on 10-inch format, and then again in 1954, as 12-inch started to take over, they were re-released. And this is 2 records previously released individually on 10-inch on one 12-inch record. Doesn't take a genius to figure out you're getting more music for your dollar right there. Music for lovers only, and music to make you misty. You can even fit both of the covers on a 12-inch cover. Then this is the only example I have, happens to be on Capitol Records, of a 10-inch release and its 12-inch counterpart. Stan Kenton's Artistry in Rhythm on 10 and 12-inch record. So the cover is exactly the same, a little bigger here, and the colors maybe a little more lush and darker on the 10-inch. And then this definitely shows you the value of the larger format. The 10-inch record has 8 songs, while the 12-inch contains 12 Stan Kenton tunes. The back covers are similar in design, although a different picture, and then again more songs on here, so you have more write-ups about the tunes inside. I love the color too. It's pretty simple. You have the page of music being burnt apparently. It looks pretty singed up, but just some great colors. The label logo down in the bottom in black on the 10-inch, and then on the 12-inch, it's the white up in the corner. So after 1955, even though the 12-inch took over, 10-inch records continued to be printed, and to this day, you can buy new 10-inch albums, but 12-inch certainly became the dominant format and took over the record industry. And also, not only did you get more music with a 12-inch record, but you got more cover.